Next up, as I said on our list, we have Garlicky Potato Gratin. Scan the QR code, the recipe. So we have our potatoes. We're slicing with a mandolin. You can also just use your chef's knife. In our book, we have a whole chapter on what tools do you really need. We believe you actually only need 3 knives. You need a paring knife, a regular chef's knife, and a serrated knife. If you have one of those big blocks, that's great. But you don't need it. We're using a mandolin for speed here if you're comfortable with it, but we have a tip if you have a mandolin.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? Everybody's scared to use a mandolin, as you can be because it's sharp, right? When you get down to a nubbin, I mean, a little bit farther than this, but just stop.
Just stop.
Your fingers cost more than the potato, right?
Give it up.
Just throw out the nubbin. It'll be okay.
You don't need to lose a finger for a potato.
Exactly.
So stop it. So you get your potatoes nice and sliced, and then we're going to soak them in cold water. What does that do?
Just to stop the discoloration and to take out a little bit of the starch, but you want some of the starch to thicken the cream. And then we're going to dry these really well and get to layer in a little gratin.
When we come back, we're going to show you how to then finish off your garlicky potato gratin, our first side of the show. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're celebrating Thanksgiving. It's our gratitude hour, all hour. We have set your menu. So if you have not started cooking for Thanksgiving, we got you. And guess what? We got you for next year and all other holidays. From our cookbook, Confident Cook, my co-author Lish Steiling. Before the break, we set up our sweet and spicy ham. That is our recommendation for the main. And then we moved on to our garlicky potato gratin. What's the difference in a gratin and a gratin? Gratin?
It's the way you pronounce it.
Okay. I'm like, we said gratin. I feel so country. All right, so we've dried our sliced potatoes, and you have buttered your casserole pan. We're not afraid of butter in our book.
And it's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. Doesn't mean you have to have it every day, but every day is okay with me.
Exactly.
You shingle the potatoes at the bottom of the pan. One of the things we talk about in our book is layering salt. How many times have you had something you say, this is so salty? It's because you someone likely salted it at the end.
At the very end, and nothing in between.
Nothing in between.
Do it in between because everything deserves to taste the best that it can, and that means it needs a little salt.
And we have our cayenne here.
Yes, because you want a little something that makes you go, what's that?
But this does
not to make it spicy.
Yeah, it doesn't make it not kid-friendly. It just adds a little bit to it. One of the tips that we also do with shallots, we put them in a little water. That knocks off the bite. How many times have you sliced a shallot, put it right in, and it just overwhelms everything? Lish has our cream, so we've gone...
heavy cream.
Heavy cream. It is Thanksgiving. Thank you.
It is.
And so you're going to layer. You have your potatoes, you have your cheese and cream, and then you're going to layer another layer in there on this recipe here.
And notice here, you don't really have to worry. You don't really have to worry about how these layers look, right?
Yeah, because it's all going to bake together.
Is the top.
We also give you a tip on a pinch of salt. What is a pinch of salt? This is not a pinch of salt. This right here will make people mad because they'll say your food don't taste right. So our pinch is a 3-finger. And so you're going to keep layering the salt.
I love this, right.
I know, they're like, right. You won't be leaving my house talking bad about us. Listen. All right, so you're going to top it with Parmesan Reggiano. And once you finish out your layer, and here's another tip. You want your last layer to be your cheese layer, your cream layer, because that's what people are going to see.
Yes.
Right? So you're going to finish it out. Lish, I'm doing all the talking. She's doing all the cooking.
No, it's all good.
But I'm doing all the
I
eating.
like to keep my hands busy.
I know.
So the top layer is what you actually pay attention to shingling.
See,
that's where you take your time.
You're going to keep your shingles going right here.
Yes.
And that's what that looks like there. You're going to keep shingling.
Keep going.
I love this as well because we talk a lot about timing in our home. I'm a Virgo. I get very neurotic about things. I don't like something cold and something hot. This is a great dish because you're going to bake this. So this gives you time to do some other things. Your ham is delicious room temperature. So you're not getting anxiety about everything being perfect at the same time.
And with all the starch and cream in here, it stays warm for a good long while. You can just put some foil on top and leave it sit on the stovetop as you're finishing the gravy or bringing things to the table. Look how pretty, by the way, little scallop on top.
And you're going to finish out your last layer. I've got the surprise here.
Yeah, you do.
Ready?
You got the good stuff.
Here we go. This is our finished potato gratin. What we do here, so this is cheese throughout. There will be no one picking through saying,
The crunchy bits at the top.
Crunchy bits. Kids will love it. It has texture. I'm a mashed potato fan, but I also like the texture of this. So everything is not the same.
Yes.
And one other tip, we have a whole chapter on leftovers because in a couple of days you will have a lot of leftovers. We believe in one thing.
Fry it up. Like, all that you have to do is fry up your leftovers. They're never going to be the exact same thing that they were that day. So you gotta, like, take your mashed potatoes, fry them in a little bit of butter. Your turkey, fry it in a little bit of oil.
Listen, take all of this and then
Put it in a pan.
Put it in a pan, fry it up.
Golden brown and delicious.
Because that's what happens when you get a kid from Texas and a kid from Wisconsin and give them a cookbook. You end up frying it up.